All right, you guys might remember this 1963 Fiat. Well, we have a little ending to this one coming up because it's leaving today. Now let me show you how far we got. We got as far as installing the 1-liter Abarth engine into the back here. And as you can see, everything is pretty well buttoned up and just about ready to go. But before I could get to the point that I could actually say that it was time to start it, turned out the distributor didn't fit. When I started doing a little bit of lookup on it, it asked me if it was a clockwise or counterclockwise engine. And I'm like, wait a minute, these all turn in the same direction, don't they? Well, no. The original Fiat engine, which is that engine, actually turns in the reverse direction of this Abarth engine, which I have identified to work in an Auto Bianchi, which is a front-wheel drive front engine car. In order to make the front-wheel drive front engine car, because everything's turned around backwards, run in the proper direction, they made the engine run backwards. So this engine, despite being installed here, isn't going to work. Now I contacted Mr. Fiat and a few other mechanics around the country because there's nothing on the internet about this. I mean, just nothing. If there were actually instructions step by step, we probably would have gone through them or figured out some kind of path or solution to make this work. But when I figured you could swap out a cam, swap out a water pump, maybe some kind of oil pump or something to make everything turn in the right direction. Turned out it's a lot more complex than that because this engine is intended for an automatic transmission, so it's got the wrong crank in it too. The end of the crank, where you would normally have the bearings, so that way the input shaft could ride in it, so that when you step on the clutch, it allows the shafts to independently spin freely. This doesn't have that. So despite the engine bolting right in here, as it has, it's not going to work with this engine. So the owner of this was a little frustrated with the whole situation. I talked to that Fiat, Mr. Fiat, about a new engine for this thing, and it was an upgrade from that. This is a 30 horsepower, this is 100 horsepower. They had a 60 horsepower. That would be a direct bolt-in. And I think that's probably the best solution, but it was about $5,000. So I don't know what the owner of this exactly wants to do, but he's sending it off to another Fiat specialized mechanic, and I think they'll do it a lot more justice than what I can. Because frankly, if it were my car, I'd hack the hell out of it. And you know what? I might actually pull the crank out of it, have it machined, and have everything work for it, because that's the Duckman way. But I think he's going to try to put things back into as good of the original condition that he can, and then move on from this project, because this actually belongs to a guy who owns an import car sales shop, a dealership essentially. But this is one of his products that he has up for sale, and I think he's got probably way too much money in it right now and actually sell it for a profit. So we'll see what he decides he wants to do with that in the future. But the interesting thing is the Fiat mechanic he discovered only lives a block from here that way. So I might actually get to visit this thing as it gets built. So we'll see what goes on with that. Anyways, that's it for the Fiat. So we won't be seeing this one again on this channel probably anytime soon, unless a block away he gets some updates on it and I get to catch him doing it. Otherwise, I guess that's it on this one. So like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to pluck that ding list. Get updates every time I upload a video. Check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links. And Abarth. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next go-around. Well, the Fiat is gone. You know what that means? That means Eleanor can come out of the garage. Let's get the garage open and push it out in the driveway. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, this just showed up. So we've got another project we're working on here. This one has a lot of electrical issues, and let me show you about this one. This one's kind of interesting. You notice it's got no door handles. Everything's been deleted. This is a very interesting and tricked out bus. It's really hard to get the leverage on it to get the door open. But anyway, that's what I got myself into. Somebody custom wired this thing. It's got mystery power draws on it. Everything seems to be working though, but for some reason it kills the battery overnight. So I got to figure out what it is. Could be as simple as the alternator, as you've seen me fix in some other videos, or it could be, you know, much more severe problems. Or maybe something in the gauges is staying left on, and that was actually part of the problem that had when it first came here, way back when it belonged to the previous owner. Was the oil pressure, oil temperature gauge was powered on full time on the dashboard. It just was never wired into the key, so when you turn the key on, anyway, it was always on. So I got to go through that, and I also need to go and have a look at the engine here, and I got to do some carburetor tuning, And this has dual dualies, HPMXs. So it might need some rejetting, or maybe it just needs a good balance. I don't know all the specifics on this engine. It does run okay, but particular at low RPMs, it just hiccups and pops and bangs, and it seems like it's missing on maybe one cylinder. So we might have one of the barrels, one of these carburetors gummed up. So I got to figure out which one it is and then address accordingly. But yeah, this is another project coming. You guys will see this. We're working on this soon. It's a, I think it's a low light, but it's got some custom work done to it. Clearly the low lights are gone. See, is there a VIN number? No, the tag's gone even, so I'm not sure what year it is. Not certain. You know, it probably says in the engine compartment. Walk around back. You guys are gonna keep asking if I don't figure it out myself, right? Okay, go around this side. Whoops. And I think the VIN number is right here. Maybe they didn't do it this year, or maybe somebody did something. Okay, well, usually there's a little something on one of the sides. I can't remember which side it's on, but a little something with a number stamped in it, but I don't see that in here, so no chance. Oh well. All right, well, that's the project coming up. This is what replaces the Fiat, and this is the reason why Triple E can't come out of the garage, because space is taken. And I still need to get to address my 350Z, which I hadn't talked about in video, but this thing started wandering around the road really badly, especially when it hit a bump. Then the car would just dart all over the place. I hit a spot with some standing water, and it threw me in the other lane. I almost hit somebody else. It's just the steering on it's completely wacky, and the front tires, which I just replaced a year ago and barely drove it, are completely shot already. So that pissed me off, because tires aren't cheap. Nothing anymore is really cheap. But anyway, I gotta take the whole front end out. I think it's tie rod ends. Might as well do ball joints. Might as well do the front wheel bearings. Might as well replace the calipers. Not the calipers, the rotors. I've got new parts for most of it. I've been collecting them over the years because I knew some of these things were gonna go bad. So I just need to get the rest of them and put it back together. I also need to go through the air conditioner, which I don't know why the hell that crapped out, but it did. I fixed everything on it. The car sat for a year, and then I came back to it. It didn't work. I think it's the little valve, which is not easy to get to. You got to tear the whole damn dashboard out, or invert myself and get up underneath it and work on it that way. So, not excited about that. So, get this closed back up. Close this back up too. And I guess that'll be it for this video. I accidentally hit the power button. The Beetle's been treating me really good. I drive it just about every day, so it's been good. I got to get the fastback out sometime too, because it's been sitting for most of this time. I do start it up once, about every other week, just to make sure that everything is still working on it. But you know, the kiss of death when it comes to these old Volkswagens is letting them sit. So we're not going to do that to it. It is currently registered and it is insured. So I guess that's it for now. So thanks you guys for watching. And it's really cold out here right now. Yeah, it's just barely above freezing. I know it's cold where you're at, but this is Florida. Just be reminded of that. We'll see what the weather brings for the rest of the season. Holy shit! Thanks guys for watching.